Hey, you're muted.
Technical glitches here. Here we go. Awesome. How are you today?
I am good.
Awesome. How's your 2025 starting?
Starting off good. We're off to a good start.
Excellent. So I wanted to have you come on because I'm such a big fan of yours, and I know that you are a fan of helping women, and I want to support women. Yeah, I know you know my heart in so many ways, but one of the main things I want is for women to start 2025 off on a good, on a good run, but
Mhm.
also I know how important it is for you to have like less stress. And I think it's so easy for us to come into the new year with like, I've got all these resolutions, I've got all these goals. How do I make it happen? And the energy behind that is often like a heavy, hard, like tenacious willpower kind of a thing. But like, can you talk a little bit about how do we create momentum toward our goals, but maybe with a little less stress?
One, I would say take a deep breath. Like 2025 is an entire year. Like it's not like you don't have to accomplish everything today. So like take a deep breath, but then like as you look at those goals, they should be overarching goals. Like these are like we have some big things we want to accomplish this year. Like I have some big goals I've put out there. I'm like they're a little scary, some of them, to be honest. Um, but what's really going to help is what is the one thing I can do right now? What is the one step I can take today? Because when we do the, like you're talking about, like that all in that energy, like gung ho, I'm ready to do it all today, it works so counter to how our brain works. And your brain like freaks out. It's like, I can't take it. This is too much change. This requires too much energy. And that's why by January 14th, you're back on the couch in your sweats eating Doritos because your brain was like, let's go back to what we know. Let's go back to comfortable. Let's keep everything safe. So, what we have to do is work with our brain so that our brain doesn't freak out and put us back where we were. And so that's taking small steps towards your goals and breaking it down into achievable chunks, whether that's by quarter, by month, by week, whatever it is. So you're taking these small steps and your brain goes, I literally did this with clients last night. And I said, I did it with a step challenge. So I'll give you this concrete example because everyone's like, oh, we know we should be getting so many steps a day, all of this. But rather than do the typical step challenge where there's a set goal that you have to achieve and you're competing against each other for the most steps, what I had my clients do is like, all right, everybody has the technology. Look at your phone, look at your watch. What is your average daily step count now? And so they looked at it and everybody has a different step count. And I said, okay, so now what is your goal that is challenging but achievable? And so it puts in it in their window of challenge, and also zone of proximity where they can do it. So they got to choose their goal. And then it's a 30-day challenge. And I said, okay, it's 30 days. How many of those days are you going to achieve this goal? So they set an achievable goal in an achievable time frame of, and I think they chose both of them, a couple of them chose like 25 days. Like out of 30, I can do this 25. That gives you room to not be perfect. Like I follow this trainer and she goes, perfection is the lowest standard you can set for yourself because it's not attainable. So let's set a goal of progress. So right there, I'm working with my clients in making this goal of health, wellness, longevity, fitness attainable for their brain. Their brain goes, oh, I only need to get how many more steps than I'm already getting? Okay, I can do that. So then you start getting the dopamine hits, and your brain's like, yes, we like this. This is awesome. This is good. Let's repeat that. And then I also have a tracker for them. So you track what you're doing so you can see it. And I was like, listen, put it somewhere you can see it. And I'll tell you my secrets. I put my yearly goals that need to be tracked. Like let's say like number of podcasts or lives that I want to be on. That's one of my goals. I hit a certain number last year. I want to increase that this year. I put that list on my bathroom wall right next to my mirror. So I see it multiple times a day. People who come to my apartment see it as well. They're like, what's on your bathroom wall? My goals. And then it's somewhere where I will track it. So I have them put it somewhere where they're going to see it repeatedly. And then also celebrations. like celebrate your achievements, celebrate yourself. And so I said, all right, you hit your goal, not somebody else's goal. You're not competing with anybody other than yourself. I have gift cards for you. What do you want? Amazon, Target, Starbucks, which one speaks to you the most? And so it's that small chunks, tracking, working with your brain and celebrating as you go. Those are big pieces to it.
It's funny you say that. I used to wrestle and I used to play football. And so I knew what it was to like work really hard. And so I also knew what my capabilities were. But as I kind of went further into adulthood and got busy with life, I would make these huge goals and I would do them for like 2 or 3 days. And then life would happen again. And then I couldn't do it that day. And it's amazing how little it takes to just trip you up and then stop your momentum. And it was a couple of years ago, I decided, you know what? I know that I should be doing something every day. And so I set what is almost a laughable goal of doing 10 push-ups a day
Mhm.
because I knew in my head there was no way that I didn't have time to do 10 push-ups a day. But when I get down to do 10 push-ups, I don't do 10 push-ups because I'm down there. I'm already down there. I might as well do 15, 20. I was doing like 80 or 90 at a time at one point because once I'm down there, it doesn't take that much longer to do a few more.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
in my head, if the goal was small enough, I didn't have an excuse not to do it. So it took doing something little to create that momentum. And I
Yes.
think some of what you're talking about is like set those small achievable goals and you'll get that reward system as well. You get that like dopamine,
Mhm.
oxytocin kind of a hit or whatever it is,
Yeah.
those chemicals that like you're doing great, you're building the momentum, and then it starts to just become habit and it's easy and you're rewarding yourself, I think.
Yeah. And it turns into an identity eventually.
Yeah,
Like, and I, similar to like your push-ups, I set a like 5 minutes a day Duolingo goal
yeah, yeah.
for learning a language. I'm like, I can do 5 minutes, like totally achievable. So yeah, you're what you're doing is you're changing your mindset, you're working with your brain, you're getting success and you're building on success. And then you become the person who does 80 to 90 push-ups.
I love
Yeah.
that.
But it's like those small daily actions. It's I have this goal, but what's the action that gets me to that goal?
Well, let me ask, 'cause I've got a little bit of time crunch. I know you do too, but what are you excited about? What are you putting out for your clients? Who are your ideal clients and what are you providing for them here in this first quarter of the month of the year?
Oh, uh, I'm actually some of the things I'm really excited about is I have some full day workshops that I've booked this year that I get to go teach for a whole day on my 5 foundations of stress management. So that's super exciting to be able to be like, here you go, here's everything. But on the smaller scale, I'm running a group coaching, which I absolutely love. I use Growth Day, which is an app from Brendan Burchard. He's absolutely phenomenal. So I use his tools in my group coaching for stress management. I call it Beat the Burnout. And we work through his tools, working together. The step challenge that I created was with my group coaching clients because I know one-on-one coaching isn't accessible to everybody, but I know that so many people are struggling with stress. So really my ideal client, I know we're talking mostly to women right now, is those high achievers, driven personality that are always pushing for the next thing, but you're just about to like burn your life down. You're like, I'm ready to burn it all to the ground. Like I can't do it. I can't. You're at the point of like, I am not superwoman and I cannot do it all and I am about to lose my ever loving mind. I'm here for you.
Okay, so that brings up for me because you are that type of woman, right?
I am.
And can you kind of take our audience through like you and I met through a coaching program? Like where were you when I met you and where are you now as it relates to like your love life? Where were you dating? Like where are you now? Kind of take people through in just the next 2 or 3 minutes. Like what has the last year been like for you?
Transformational. Like one word for it would be transformational. So we met in January, so a year ago, and I was running my business. Like I am that high achiever, driven personality, like working it, all of that. Um, but also a lot of walls and very guarded. Um, like Angus met me at the very guarded point, right at the beginning. But through the leadership coaching that we were in, through the dating coaching with you and Mayan, bringing down my walls and learning to step out of that masculine energy and to just be. Like that was, I think through the leadership training, like be was my big thing of like, I get to be. I don't have to do because I'm really good at doing. I'm not good at being. So learning to be. And I was not dating at the point that we met and hadn't been for quite some time. I really was very skeptical of online dating. I'd done it. I'd been scammed. Like the whole reason women turn off to online dating, and I was just like, God's gonna have to drop him on my doorstep. Basically, was where I was at. But making that shift of like, okay, I think I am ready to start dating. Like I do want to be married. I do want that person in my life. I do want that relationship, partnership, all of that. So I obviously have to do something. um, so I started, and then you and Mayan had your group coaching, and I took part in that, and learning to make space for someone in my life, not realizing how much I didn't have space for someone, both physically, emotionally, all of that. I think that was the first step, was just making space. And then learning how to do the dance of the masculine and feminine energy of like, I can step out of that and just be a woman, just be feminine, show up and be seen. All of that. And that was a big piece too of being completely seen. And so as I learned and how to speak to a man in a way that connects with him and he hears in the way I want it to be heard and mean it. I was like, are you for real? I can't. I'm like, really? This is gonna work? Like this took practice. I'm getting better at it. It does work. I was like, this is like magic. And realizing it's not being manipulative to do that. It's communicating in a way that I can be heard and understood. And going from not dating onto the apps to not being very successful with the apps to regularly having a 2 date weekend, 2 to 3 dates, um, and enjoying dating because I didn't enjoy it. Um, and now, like I don't know if I told you. I think I might have mentioned it. 3 different men are interested in me, like talking to them, going out on dates with them, and being very open and honest with them about that, like not playing in any way, but going through your coaching of like, these guys, until they ask for commitment, are just dudes. It's dude dating. It's just another guy. We're going out. I get to choose the energy and that was a big thing too, of I get to choose the energy I show up with for a date. And whether it's a great date or horrible date, I choose to show up and go have a great time. I don't care. Not that I don't care if he has a good time, but I get to choose that even if he's not having a good time, I'm going to have a great time. It's going to be a great date no matter what. And that also transfers to my business of I get to choose how I show up. I get to choose, just like the wardrobe of clothes that I put on. I get to choose the energy that I put on when I show up to a networking event, when I go to speak, when I go out on a date. I get to choose that. And so going from not dating to successfully dating and enjoying it and having 3 options right now, I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I love that. And the part of the reason that I'm selfishly having you on here is because I have been hearing you drop, in our messages, little things about not just 3 men, but like you told me in the messages, like 3 high quality men that you're actually excited about dating. Like you're experiencing all that stuff. And what you just shared with me reminded me of like, I don't even know how many different topics and lessons that we taught. Like you're kind of going through them. Like, can you speak to our audience? Like what, like from your perspective, what does a woman who's ambitious, driven, successful in so many areas, but like unsure if she even wants love anymore, like what would you tell her about working with May and I?
Oh my goodness, do it. Like, I literally was at a women's event today. I plugged you guys in this women's event that's for business and leadership today because we were talking about I don't know, change and hope or something. I was like, listen, folks, and I talked about the whole energy thing that I just talked about. I'm like, this came out, I was like, I don't know how many of you are single, but like, this is a room full of successful women, and dating as a successful woman is hard because we're trained to be in our masculine energy, going, doing, getting things like, and then you go on a date and you're still in this mode. So I would say, like, do it. It's absolutely worth it. I learned so much every week. And I was like, can we go back to that one on masculine and feminine energy? Can you tell me again how to talk to a guy and tell him what I want in the relationship? And I every time I try to express this, I'm like, okay, this feels good or this doesn't feel good. I like or I don't like. Um, because that's not how we normally talk to men at all. And it does work. So yeah, I would say like this is like, even if you're not sure you want to date, I would say this applies to all your relationships. Like this, like I said, like this applies to my business. I was like, oh, like this, what I'm learning here about dating applies to the business world too. Like it's not just for dating. So I'd say, even if you don't think you're ready to date, you're not there, like this still will benefit you because it applies to your whole life and it changes how you see yourself. Like it helps you to show up as yourself, your true self that you've kind of, I think you mentioned it in one of our calls, like the 12-year-old, like showing up as your 12-year-old self that you were just like, she's got to go away. Like I'm going bowling tomorrow. Like I get to go have like we're bowling in an arcade and I went axe throwing last weekend. Like I just get to go have fun and just be me. And they get to see who I am. And if they love who I am, awesome. If they don't, fabulous. They're for somebody else. And I think that's an awesome part of this too is I can meet, and I honestly, I can say I have met fabulous, fabulous men since I started with your coaching. They're out there. They just haven't been my man. And so I tell people, I'm like, I'm dating and meeting, like people are like, so how's dating going? I'm like, I'm meeting great guys. Like I'm meeting fabulous people, and some I'm still in contact with just kind of on a friendly basis. Others we've just moved on, but it's been a much more relaxed experience, a much more fun experience. Um, and yeah, like it's changed my perspective on who's out there because we both teach this in our worlds. What you look for is what you get, and it's what you see. So if I'm approaching this as men are just a bunch of jerks and all of this, and like there are no good men left, they're all married and taken, well, that's what I'm going to find. But if I approach it as, you know what, there's a haystack of fantastic men out there and there's plenty of options. I'm just looking for the one that I really connect with.
So let's wrap this up. This coming week, we have the Unlocking Love Summit, which is unlockinglovesummit.com, which you're going to be one of our guests on there. So we're excited to have you. If you're listening to this, watching this, and you haven't signed up yet, go to unlockinglovesummit.com and register now. It's a free event. It's virtual. It's 2 days, 7th and 8th of January. And little sneak peek, we're going to be having a workshop the following Saturday that's going to teach a lot of what Naomi was just talking about, like how to have that feminine communication, how to get in touch with it, how to go from like from frustrated to fun, from like hopeless in dating to happy. Like we're going to be teaching those types of things in that workshop on Saturday. So that's for me. Naomi, where can they find you if they wanted to work with you or learn more about what you're doing?
Sure. And I'll second that plug for your summit. That's where I started with your coaching, was with the summit, with the workshop, and then into your coaching. So oh my goodness, you have amazing speakers. For me, I'm here on Facebook at Naomi Hall Fit Educator. You just easy to connect with me there, that one spot. You'll see me living out what the principles that I teach of like the foundations of stress management, and you'll see me getting it wrong. And like leading up to Christmas, I was not managing my mindset well at all. And I was struggling with stress and like tension. And I was like, oh my goodness, but I notice a whole lot sooner now. Like I listen to the whispers of my body rather than waiting for it to scream at me. So check it out on Facebook. Come follow me, message me. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to do a one-on-one call and just see where you're at with stress and what I can offer you. I do one-on-one coaching. I speak and do trainings. I do group coaching. And really my foundation is living a healthy life.
Thank you, Naomi. Appreciate your time today. Appreciate everybody who tuned in to watch this live and who is watching the replay. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday and Wednesday at the Unlocking Love Summit. All right. Take care, everybody.